Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Well, friends, if you're watching with us live on Facebook, Betsy likes to do things where she just poses questions in the chat. And today's question apparently is cookies or brownies, go. The great debate rages on. I will tell you that yesterday here at Hy-Vee in the employee lounge, ooh, it sounds fancy, all of the Shamrock St. Patrick's Day sugar iced cookies were up there. Like probably, 100 of them. And I did not eat a couple of them. I didn't know they were in there. And then it was like, goodbye, willpower. Hello, Shamrock sugar cookies. They're my favorite. So, and then today I went in there and there were like other sugar cookies. And I had one. And I had by all means this morning I woke up and I was like, I'm not going to do any sugar today. Not today, Satan. And then it was like, oh, free sugar cookie. Well, what happened? Willpower, where are you? Is my willpower in aisle 8? Maybe. See if you can find it. So today is a couple things, and I normally don't mention these in the jump, but today is World Down Syndrome Day. And I kind of thought that there was a correlation between World Down Syndrome Day and encouraging people to wear mismatched socks. So I don't know if anybody else is doing this, but I'm doing this right now, and there's a picture of the socks that I have on. I realize I have like old man socks now. I don't even have cool socks. I got old man socks. I'm 35. I got old man socks. What do you want me to do? But in the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam, we have the Left Foot Sock Company where you can buy fun socks. Like there's some that have pizza on it and cats and, other stuff. You can kind of see it right there, 2 left feet. There's some fun socks. There's some leggings as well. I don't know if I would look good in leggings, never tried. But as far as creative socks go, right? So feel free today on World Down Syndrome Day to wear mismatched socks. Is anybody here wearing mismatched socks? Ryan is doing it, but he didn't even know it was a thing. He just doesn't have a pair that match. Ryan, it only gets worse. I can tell you this. The real MVPs in my house, besides my wife, is our washer and dryer because we do so many loads of laundry with 3 kids now. And I don't even know, like when you just get stuff out of the dryer and you just see socks, I'm like, you got to find your friend, Mr. Sock. And sometimes, we can't find the other Paw Patrol sock. And you get a Paw Patrol sock and you get a PJ Masks sock. And it becomes a thing. So hopefully you're celebrating World Down Syndrome Day and helping raise awareness for that. All right, let's get to our first guests that are here representing Muscatine High School Speech and Debate. I'm really nervous because I don't want to mispronounce any names, even though we were practicing this before the show started. To my right is Dalton Bella Capitos. Jeremiah Daniels is easy, and Hannah pouts. Because when Hannah doesn't win, Hannah might pout, which is not true. That was mean. Thank you all for coming on the show. I appreciate you being here. Dalton, look on the screen how many letters Dalton's name takes up. That is so awesome. Yeah, would you ever like to just host the show just so we could use that graphic again?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Good. Well, I'm happy to know that you could come back. Congratulations. So the national tournament is coming up this June, right? And is it true that everybody sitting here right now has qualified for the national speech and debate tournament?
Yeah.
That is so exciting. So I believe Dalton and Jeremiah, you're both seniors. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then Hannah is a sophomore.
Yep.
And you have qualified twice now.
Yeah.
So you did it as a freshman?
I did it as a freshman and sophomore, yeah.
That is unbelievable. Good for you.
Thank you.
For the folks at home that are watching that have no context, I did speech and debate in high school, freshman year. Mr. Demos, Oak Park River Forest High School. Shout out to the Huskies. And I don't know if that's what they do. They should do that. It was a lot of fun, and our debate coach or teacher, Mr. Demos, he was just fantastic. Like, I learned a lot from that guy, and I got more comfortable with public speaking. But for the folks at home that are watching, and Dalton, I'll start with you, that don't understand speech and debate, just give us a little bit, like, speak in broad terms, if you could, about speech and debate, and then we'll kind of get into more, like, what's coming up, because you have a fundraiser as well. But just give us a little bit of background on speech and debate and your experience.
Okay, so speech and debate overall is mainly competitive acting when it comes to speech-wise. You know, you can do things like dramatic interpretations and also humorous interpretations of different published stories. You can do it with one or two people. You can use poetry. A lot of times it's just a great way to express yourself and to be more out there in speech-wise. As far as debate goes, there's also where you can debate other kids on different topics and become more knowledgeable on politics and things like that.
In your experience, I mean, you're a senior now. Have you done all 4 years with speech and debate?
I haven't. I joined in my sophomore year.
Okay, great. So what have you taken away? What have you learned over the last couple of years participating with speech and debate, outside of the fact that you're all apparently just unbelievably talented and you just go to nationals all the time, which is great? But what have you taken away in the last couple of years participating?
What I've taken away is that I should really just be out there and be the best me that I can be. Overall, there's nothing better than the people who I'm with on my team, and they really brought out the best me that I can be.
Jeremiah, your experience, again, as a senior, have you done this all 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're a freshman, and I don't know, because I'm old now, but is there speech and debate in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, or is it not until you get to that freshman year?
For some schools, I know there's speech and debate when you're in middle school. As in, like, Benton North, they have a speech and debate program over there. In Muscatine, unfortunately, we don't necessarily have a speech and debate program. We actually start our freshman year, and you move up from there.
Excellent. So what was it that, I mean, had you done acting prior to in some capacity, or was it just you were looking for ways to get involved as a freshman and you found your way to speech and debate?
Actually, I was sitting down with a friend of mine, Ezekiel Ellis, and we were just kind of upstairs in the New Wing Lounge, just hanging out, talking a little bit. It was basketball tryouts. I decided I was going to go with him, walk, see what he was doing in the library. He took me down there when they were having like speech and debate practice. The coach, well, the old coach at the time, David Schrock, he's somebody I knew from church. Him and I kind of go way back. They were telling me about it. We were just having a good conversation. I also met like a friend of mine, Wyatt Mason. So it's kind of like that friendly environment of people that already knew that invited me in. So I can be like, hey, I kind of want to do this activity with them. Plus, sports isn't, like, I really like sports, but it's not necessarily something I excel at.
Sure.
As well as speech and debate, I guess you could say. So yeah, just because like the atmosphere there, I kind of like the new challenge because it's something that I never did before. I really wasn't like a public speaker at the time. I was kind of like just
introvert maybe.
Yeah.
It's really nice to, my story, and I want to get to Hannah, of course, but freshman year of high school, I think I finished the year, I don't want to brag, I maybe had a 1.7 GPA. Again, I don't want to brag. I know that that's really bad. And then I had this guidance counselor, Dan McHugh, who at the start of my sophomore year just basically was like, I don't know what your deal is, but you have a lot of potential, but you're fronting. Why don't you take this mask off? So between him and the sophomore English teacher that I had, I turned it around. I graduated with like a 3.3, I think, 3.4 maybe. And but it was just that like opportunity where you meet people that come into your life that can help you feel comfortable trying different things like speech and debate. And you maybe, Jeremiah, you never thought you would do something like that. You never thought you would be on stage in front of a room full of people, right, performing in that capacity.
No.
And the fact that you've been able to do it is great. Hannah, you're a sophomore, and you've qualified for nationals twice. So before freshman year, I mean, what was your background? Any theater or acting or what?
Not really. My parents probably could have predicted it because I've never been soft-spoken, but I got into it again from a friend from church. Kirsten Oslin was in it, and she's a year older than me, and she told me about it and kind of dragged me to a practice so I could see what it was like. And from there, I kind of fell in love because it was a place that you really could. You were accepted no matter what you said or thought, and it was a place that you really could speak out and not be quiet all the time because unlike Jeremiah, I was not an introvert.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so that is what got me in, and it was just like right off from there. So I didn't have any acting abilities really at all, but it was a nice place to learn that.
So this Saturday, March 23rd, there is a trivia night at Muscatine High School in the Commons, correct? And we've got information that we'll be able to put on the screen as we're sitting here talking about it. Dalton, why is it important for folks watching, again, whether they're live with us or going to catch this on cable tonight, why should they come out and support this trivia night on Saturday?
Well, the great thing about it is that you'd be supporting the team because we need the money in order to actually go to Dallas, Texas. And one thing is before, in 2016, when me and Jeremiah were both freshmen, there were only 5 people who qualified to nationals. And then the next year it was 7. And then we broke the old record of 7 that we tied for. And the next year we got 11 people, and now we have 10. We're a really big growing team, and hopefully if we can keep with that success, we can do even greater things.
So there's 10 muskies, 11?
11.
I'm getting a
yeah.
signal that there's 11.
Told you.
There's 11.
Told you.
Yeah.
Mrs. Hilton's giving me the signal at 11. But there's 11 people that qualified from Muscatine to go to nationals, which in Dallas, Texas. That's a big
Yeah.
deal. Congratulations. Holy moly. Right, so of course we want the trivia night to be a success so that we can make it. There's the information on the screen. Ryan, click on that graphic if you could, and let's go full screen on that part. So there's of course information on Facebook, but this is this Saturday at MHS, and you can see it all right there. Doors open at 5:30, trivia starts at 6. June's gonna be here soon, and we want to make sure that all 11 of you can make that trip and represent Muscatine well. So when because again, I don't know, and please keep that there, Chad, for a second if we could, just so everybody at home can get that RSVP and come play trivia. There's so many people that love to play trivia in this town. It's great. But when you get to nationals, I guess Jeremiah or Hannah, I mean, Dalton, you've all been there, but are you there for a couple of days? Do you compete right away? Is it like, do you have an opportunity to, I don't know, how does it work? Like if you lose, do you go home? Is it that type of setup? I don't know. Is it team based? Is it individual and team performances?
So
Yeah.
So when it comes to the whole national setting, you kind of go in like the event that you decided that you wanted to go in first, or the event that you made it in. As in if you were in duo, which is like a 2 people acting event, then you would go into nationals in duo. You're kind of there for like a week or so. The first couple of days, you guys just have fun, see the city, go shopping a little bit, go do some adventurous things. And then, after you get a feel of what everything is like around you, then it's actually time to get serious. Because now you're actually with the top 1% of people, and it's not even like fun and games anymore. Everybody here knows exactly what they're doing because they've been in this position. They've been having to fight people to get here, just like you had to fight people to get here. So it's extremely competitive. You're guaranteed like 2 days, a full 2 days of competition. Then after that, they just take the top 60 people, which is like,
Jeez Louise.
it's one of the scariest, it's one of the scariest and most nerve-wracking moments. After your last round and they drop the banners and everybody's looking for their codes. Oh my gosh, it's such a scary thing just to be looking at it, like dreaming that you or somebody from your team actually made it into that top 60 spot.
So from that top 60, I'm assuming it just gets dwindled down, right? And then is it really broken up, like if you're going to do duo or what? Hannah, you want to answer that?
Sure. So there are team things kind of like duo interpretation, as Jeremiah was saying. Then you have 2 people and they're competing together. But for most other events, it is individual based. You had your piece, you memorized it, you did the acting for it if you were in the acting portion.
Gotcha.
Or if you qualified in a debating one, such as Congress or Public Forum, which are subsects of the debating one, then you would have a big group that you're debating with, but you are competing against them. So it's very much individual unless you're doing duo and then you've got the partner, but it's still fun because you're going down with your entire team and you're rooting for everyone else in your entire team. So while individually you're fighting for a spot for yourself, you're also rooting for everyone else in your team to make it.
So Dalton, obviously, I mean, making it to nationals, having 10 of your teammates going is a big deal. Like, and everybody else can answer this as well, but I'll start with you, Dalton. Do you have, is the goal ultimately to be a national champion in whatever you're going to compete? I mean, it seems like an obvious question, but I mean, making it, qualifying is that's a big deal and cause for celebration for sure, but is that where you've kind of challenged yourself to excel when you're in Dallas?
Yeah, because the big part about it is if you've qualified to nationals, you're already like one of the best people in state. Being able to go that one step further and try to prove your spot in the national scene is huge. And if you can make that top 60 position, you actually get to perform on stage, which can be really big because you get to perform in front of everybody, not just the people who are in the room before you hit top 60.
So Jeremiah, same question. I mean, you've obviously have expectations for yourself and goals when you're in Texas, and making it to that top 60 seems like, that would be a pretty big moment. But then, of course, if that happens, there's more work to come after that, it seems like. But that is, and I'm assuming the number that we have before we get to 60 is a couple hundred or maybe 1,000 or 2,000 or a couple thousand. That's unbelievable. So how are you feeling? Because, again, June will be here soon, right? You'll have gone through graduation at MHS, which is another big moment, and then you get to go on this great trip. So unpack that question however you like as we get ready for that.
My expectation when it comes to how I'm going to do at Nationals, I've gone a few times, but I've never necessarily been able to break that top 60 spot. And it's my senior year, so after this, I basically get no more tries. So I'm actually planning on going all out this year. I have an amazing partner, like literally the best in the whole entire world. I got Ezekiel Ellis on my team, so he's going to carry me to the top 60 spot. I'm just going to ride the wave.
I'm sure you're going to help as well because you got qualified.
I'm just there to smile and cheer him on.
I love the honesty. That's great. You have a good teammate that you can work with. Hannah, you've got to experience this as a freshman. I don't know how many times that happens, but pretty incredible. And here you are again as a sophomore. What was your experience like a year ago, and what did you take away from that that's helped you prep for June?
Yeah, so my freshman year, I also did a duo. So I had a partner and we worked really well together and it was really great. And then this year, we both wanted to do our own things to just get an idea of different things that you can do in speech. And so I did Congress this year, which is debating, which is not at all what I did last year where I did acting. This was very much, you need to know your facts and your statistics and your debating skills have to be there. So that was something that I definitely learned and I want to improve for Dallas so that I could potentially have a chance, I'm not sure, to make it there. Seeing as I still am just a sophomore, I know I have other chances, but it'd be really great. So that's something I definitely want to work to, making sure I know all my stuff and have that there for the debate.
With regards to the future, sophomore, a couple years left, senior, pursuing speech and debate at the next level? Is that something that either of you have looked at? Are there scholarship opportunities available? I'm assuming there are. I mean, it would only make sense if we're going to, the thing that I always try and do is not diminish sports, but there are so many activities and ways to get involved that can unlock doors for your future, like speech and debate, right? I mean, if you can help offset the cost of secondary education with whatever you're able to do, however you're able to do it, I mean, we should support all of our students. So Dalton, for you, do you know what you're going to do next year? Will speech and debate be part of that?
Well, yeah, I plan personally to going to the University of Iowa, go Hawks. But they do have a speech and debate team. And I would look at that, and it'd be really cool to do it too, because not many people necessarily do it after high school, and it'd be really cool because it gets, of course, a lot more serious when you get into the college scene. And I think it'd be really fun, and I would definitely try it out, yeah.
On that next level would be exciting. Jeremiah, plans next year?
Oh, my plans next year. I've been looking at a few colleges, especially those with speech and debate. Bradley University was near the top of my list because they're a school that's literally amazing. This is one of the best schools in the nation when it comes to speech and debate. They're just absolutely amazing. The University of Iowa was also one of my choices. I plan on going into industrial engineering, so I kind of looked at Iowa State as well because they're one of the best engineering schools. But when it comes to speech and debate, that's something I can see myself pursuing. I kind of have my own personal mental goal. I want to beat my coach Davis in points. I thought I had him this year because I'm I'm doing pretty good in points overall. And then I realized he's way too good at what he did.
Davis Schrock.
Yeah, he is.
You mentioned a couple of names of people that I know, and Davis is one of them. And yes, it doesn't surprise me that he excelled at that. It's just nice to have, young people, and I know that probably gets annoying, and it's weird saying it now as an old person. But I hope that I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old and a 5-month-old daughter. Speech and debate is something that I want to have in our school systems from an earlier age. And maybe this is the day that I announced that I'm considering running for school board, because I would love to get programs like that into our schools, because you all have such confidence, right? And you maybe didn't have it to begin with We have, introvert, extrovert. Dalton, I don't know if you have a similar story. Right. But it's just such a great thing to be able, I just know that the answer would be yes if I asked you how has speech and debate and that involvement impacted academics and socially. I mean, you've probably made so many friends and it's just helped in other aspects of your life. I already know that answer is yes. I can just see it radiates off the three of you, and I imagine the other 8 team members probably feel and conduct themselves the same way. Like they feel good about what they've been able to do. And I'm just so excited for y'all. And I hope that everybody watching will come to Trivia Night this Saturday at Muscatine High School. Do we still have tables available? Tables are still available. My friend, Brian Linderman, is on Facebook saying that he's excited and he'll be the MC. Brian does a great job. And if you can't make it this Saturday, I'm assuming if folks are watching and they wanted to make a donation to help the team get to Dallas, that would be fine. If anybody has like a Scrooge McDuck vault full of money, I don't know if y'all get that reference or not. It's fine if you don't. It's just a big vault full of money. You want to make sure that all 11 Muskies can make it. It's a big deal that there's 11 of you going. I mean, do we know throughout the state, are there any other schools that have that number of folks that are going? I mean, not that I don't expect you to know that answer. I don't want you to, but it's a lot of students to be going.
I don't know.
It's a big deal. So
we
please
basically
consider
tonight.
coming out this Saturday. Will everybody be there for Trivia Night on Saturday?
I know I'll be there. I don't know if necessarily everybody will be there. Some of them definitely won't be, but I will be, yeah.
Jeremiah, are you going to be there?
Personally, though, I thought I could compete because I know all the questions and the answers.
You can't.
You can't.
Wait a minute. I love your honesty.
Yeah, like I wanted to go in, have like a fake mustache or something, or just come there and be like, oh, that's a surprise. I didn't know the answer before you even asked the question. Like, that's weird.
All right, so Jeremiah might be there, and he's willing to sell answers, I guess, if you need it.
At a low price,
I like how you're just like, I know all the questions and the answers, and they still won't let me compete. I don't understand.
Honestly, I don't know.
Hannah, will you be there on Saturday?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so you're a sophomore. You strike me as the type of person that you might have future aspirations already maybe mapped out in your head, or I don't know, any thoughts on what you want to do? It's a couple years away, certainly, as only a sophomore. But just as I say that, you'll be starting your junior year soon, and then you blink and that's over. So have you given any thought to that yet?
Yeah. So speech and debate is still definitely something I want to do post high school, but I am still figuring out exactly how I'm going to want to balance that. I do want to go into psychology. I'm really, really interested in psychology. And along with that, public speaking, which came about mostly because of speech and debate. So I didn't know that that's something I wanted to look into more, know more about until I joined the team. And now it's definitely something that I want to be able to do in my job and my life, is something along with public speaking. So psychology and public speaking.
Memorization, right? I mean, I don't know. I wasn't the best. I can memorize certain things, but I mean, there's a lot of extensive memorization that's going on. Do you have any tips for what's helped with that? Because it's one thing, again, to compete at different levels, but to get to Dallas and to that, I mean, there's so much pressure that you can put on yourself, and then to have to remember and memorize all of that and how it's sequenced and goes together. Is it just a matter, Dalton, for you, of rehearsing it enough times, or do you have tricks and tips that have helped you memorize things over the years?
A big trick for me is when I go over my script, I start at the beginning and I go until I can't go anymore, and then when I can't go anymore, I just start over. So I'll just do that multiple times over until I get that down. And then it's not only just memorizing words either, it's also memorizing your tech, which is like what you do physically. Since you're acting things out, since I'm in duo with your partner, you have to work together and do tech and remember how to do that as well as what you're speaking. So it can be pretty hard.
Jeremiah, was memorization tough for you?
Yes. Yes, I actually can't remember anything. I have 2 techniques that I use to memorize things.
I love your honesty. I love your honesty. Yeah, what are your techniques? Go ahead.
So my first technique that I like to do is I like to write it down. I like to keep on writing it down until I can't write it down anymore.
Cool.
And then I look at what's next. I memorize that. I write that down separately, and then I take the first paragraph, the second paragraph, and I write them down together.
Sure.
And I keep on doing that, so then I can have like the muscle memory of it. I can have it in my mind. My second technique is I like to record myself saying it, so that when I'm doing any of my activities, like I'm washing the dishes or if my mom has any other manual labor that I'm not getting paid for. Yeah, she goes ahead and she tells me to do that. I have it in my ear. I'm just here like doing it. I'm saying some random words. She's looking at me weird, but you know, it just helps me if I can say it along with myself and hear myself say it over and over and over again.
Manual labor that I'm not getting paid for. I just want to make sure I say that out loud so that I remember that in 10 years when my son says that to me. And then I just go like, see the roof over your head? Like, you're not paying for that. And maybe your mom has said that to you. I don't know if she's used that. That's the dad in me that's like, okay, all right, I understand what you're saying. But also, oh, that's good. All right, Hannah, memorization.
Yeah.
You're again, sophomore, and I'm not dwelling on that. You certainly know what you're doing, but, you know, it's a lot to take in and to be able to do it on these different stages and settings. What have you found that works for you?
Yeah, so I do Congress and debate this year, which is a bit different than the acting. So I just make sure I have an outline with me, so I have the 3 points I want to make, what little intro and conclusion I want to have, and then I memorize my facts. And after that, it's just making sure you can practice ad-libbing it and going with what you have. So unlike people who have set scripts, each time I go up there, it's going to be a slightly different speech, so I have to make sure that my ability to remember my facts is there, but also my structure so that I can go on the fly. But then last year I did do a piece that I had to memorize, and for that it was very hard. It was the first time I've ever had to in my life memorize 10 minutes worth of text.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 10 minutes worth of text without any external cues throughout the thing. What helps me is as I go along I do add in my tech because it's easier for me to remember when I have a storyline with it. Because if it's just random words, random tech that you have no way to go off of, it's very hard. So when I remember it as the story and I remember the way it goes and how it ends and everything, that helped me memorize it a lot.
You are just all very impressive. I'm super excited that you're here, and I'm pumped that Mrs. Hilton reached out and we made this happen. And I hope that everybody, can we put the trivia night flyer back on the screen for the folks at home? Look at how quick that was. Boom! Ryan Broderson with the quickness. This Saturday, March 23rd, MHS Commons help send Dalton and Jeremiah and Hannah and their 8 other teammates to Dallas. We have to make sure that this can happen. The Commons needs to be packed. Doors at 5:30, trivia at 6, $10 a seat, 8 people per table. Build a team in advance if you want, or join a team that night. It'll be a good time for a good cause. You can reach out to Mrs. Hilton on her email address that's right there. And I'm so happy for all of you and excited. And Hannah, I wonder, with what you're getting to do with Congress and debate, have you mastered the art of like the hand gesture? Because you could pull off some sweet like politician hand gestures. You could get a good point. I don't know if you have a good point that you have to make, if you make any points, or if you get to do any. Like I'm Sicilian, and sometimes I talk a lot with my hands, like I'm Jay Leno, like I don't know what to do with my hands sometimes because I'm not used to this. Sometimes my friends like Alex Armstrong wave at me when I'm doing a talk show. But have you mastered like the strong gesture? Do you get to hold the pen and do that move?
I've definitely not mastered it. I've got a lot of work to do on that. The things I have learned are when you're giving your points, it's very helpful to be like, my first point, my second point, and then my third point.
Oh, bring it together. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not perfect yet, but those are like little tricks I've learned. So you can say that in the beginning, and then when you go back to your piece, you can be like, now, as I said, my first point, and more detail about that, and then the second. So it helps add structure. So little things like that. Definitely still learning though, not perfect, but.
Wow, I like that. So I could use that on the show. I could be like, Ryan and Betsy and Cody, you need to listen to me. We're doing this show so that we don't fight. And if we came back to that, guys, we don't want to do that. I could do that.
Exactly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not the same thing at all. I realize that. This is great. I'm so happy, and I hope that Saturday is a success. A week or so in Dallas. This is wow. I mean, good luck. Pressure, I don't know how y'all are going to deal with it. I'm glad I don't have to go, I guess. I mean, I'd love to go to Dallas. It sounds like a great time. But it seems like you all have been there before, so you know what to expect, and now it's time to just show up and and do the work, so to speak, and hope for the best, and that you make it to that top 60. And then I don't even know what it looks like to have a national champ. Right? I mean, do they give you a car or something, or a trophy?
It's a
big trophy.
Big trophy.
Big trophy.
Big.
I mean,
I
is the
need
trophy
one of
full
those.
of like money, or do we know what's in the trophy? Candy, maybe?
I don't know.
Somebody needs to come back with one. Deal? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want
Somebody
that
needs to
trophy.
come back with the big trophy. We can set it right here on this demo cart that we use for our desk. Good luck. Thank you for coming on. Spring break is here. You're on this show during spring break. I appreciate that. And as you're gearing up for nationals, how often, I guess last question, how often are you all together preparing, whether it's duo or individual stuff? I mean, are you together a couple times a week getting prepped for nationals? Dalton, I'll start with you.
A couple times a week is ideal.
Sure.
What's really great is just practicing your lines, make sure you're freshen up on it, and so that you know what you're doing just occasionally. I personally like to do that once a day, like in the morning at some point, just go over my lines and make sure I know everything still.
Well, if you ever need any you want to just come on the show and go over them, it'd be kind of fun. Just start the show like mid-thought. People will be like, what's happening? Jeremiah, I mean, that it's got to be good to be with Ezekiel, right, as often as you can, so that when you get to Dallas, you're ready.
Zeke right now, unfortunately, he couldn't make the show. He's in Chicago? Yeah,
Nice.
he's in Chicago right now visiting some family and friends.
Sure.
When it comes to like us and practicing, we don't necessarily want to practice like too much.
Okay.
Like we kind of like having these stretches where we don't practice, because then if we do practice too much, then we kind of get like monotone with what we're saying, and we kind of just say, yeah, I know what this is, I know the actions, I'm just going autopilot. But if we don't necessarily have it too fresh in our mind, then when we actually, when it's not like too indented in our mind, and when it's kind of fresh, we can just go out and we can do it. We can be like, oh, now I have to pay attention because I don't necessarily know if I might mess up. So, okay, I'm about to throw a punch, I hope I don't kill Zeke. Like, just the little things like that. Like, you just keep it fresh in your mind is the best way that we do it.
It's great. Hannah, holy moly, right? Just this week alone, how many times have you gone over your outline and your facts, and have you done it today already? Yes, you have. Okay, we started the show live at 8:30 in the morning, and apparently Hannah was up at 5 a.m. Geez, it's spring break. Hannah, take it easy, will ya? Come on.
Yeah.
Gosh, that is
well,
awesome.
It's a little different for Congress too, because you
Yeah.
always have to make sure that your facts are up to date. Because if you go up and give a speech and someone stands up and asks you a question, they're like, "Is your source from 5 years ago? Like, what are you doing? It's got to be
gosh.
recent." So you always have to make sure that all of the data that you have and all the points that you're making are backed up by the data that is the most recent and the most up to date. So yeah, it's always trying to stay up to date with all that. Yeah.
And just so the folks at home understand, Hannah is not getting all of her facts from social media. She's getting it from real sources like books and research, and not just things that people say online. Wouldn't it be easy, though? Maybe that could be a whole other part of speech and debate, is just debating ridiculous things that you see on the internet. That could be,
Spontaneous.
spontaneous. All right, good luck, Dalton, Jeremiah, Hannah. I'm super excited for you, and I'm thankful that you were on the show today. Trivia night coming up again this Saturday. Can't stress it enough. 5:30, Muscatine High School. Get your teams together, and please come out and support these folks and their entire team so that they can make it there. Wow, good luck, everybody. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. This is just great. They're going to Dallas. 11. Think about that. 11 Muskies get to go to Dallas, Texas in June to represent at the national tournament. This is a big deal, and we're super happy for them. We just need Trivia Night to be a success. Or, again, if there's somebody watching that, well, nobody won the Powerball last night because I'm here. So it's $625 million now. But if anybody won even $1 million or $2 million, if you want to help out, make a donation to the team, and let's make sure that they can get to Dallas and represent Muscatine on a national level and do the best that they can. We already know that they're going to be well prepped and trained, and they're going to do well. They've qualified. That's a big of enough first step. Now it's time to make it happen. So that's very exciting, and great to have them on the show. All right, so we've got our main man, Cody, gearing up. He's firing up in a moment, the Toyota Muscatine Kart Camp. And we're going to take a little stroll. Cody, I would love to just go towards that sock display and grab a pair or two of the socks that speak to you. when we do that, because today again is World Down Syndrome Day, and the thing that people encourage is to wear 2 mismatched socks. I have mismatched socks on right now, and I took a picture this morning because I thought it would be easier than trying to get a camera to zoom in on my cankles. So maybe we show the picture, Ryan, if we could, Chad, of my mismatched socks, so that the people at home know that I have. Oh, Betsy has control today, apparently. Oh, great. Well, Betsy, I trust you, I guess. So wear mismatched socks. I've been fortunate in my life to know a lot of people with Down syndrome, and they're just wonderful. And I can't say enough about the relationships that I've had, and I hope that you'll join us in that conversation today on World Down Syndrome Day. Wear the mismatched socks. Use the hashtag, Betsy, lots of socks, and also use the hashtag WDS2019 and leave no one behind. Betsy, those are the hashtags that we want people to use if they're going to post things today on the 21st of March. So it's also, in addition to that, it is National California Strawberry Day. We know that only the best strawberries come from the state of California. Places like Driscoll Farms, that's where Hy-Vee gets all their produce from, including strawberries that are just delicious and big. I mean, I saw a strawberry the other day, and it winked at me. I was like, that's a big strawberry. My 6-year-old can't get enough strawberries. It's also National Common Courtesy Day. Will you do something courteous to someone? Will you be polite? I hope so. It's National French Bread Day. National Single Parent Day. So shout out to all the single parents that are making it happen. Moms and dads, we got your back. You're doing it. You're doing the job of 2 parents sometimes, and we acknowledge you today. And it's National Fragrance Day. So are you wearing... I put cologne on this morning. Yep, still there. Betsy just smelled Ryan. She just leaned over and smelled Ryan. I don't know. What's the verdict? Good? She's doing it again. She's smelling him right. Delmer, you wearing any cologne today? It's National Fragrance Day. You got anything on? Normal? Is that what you said? Just normal. Del Martini Cologne. Este Martini. It smells like only the best. All right, Cody is ready to rock Toyota Muscatine Car Cam. So, Cody, grab some socks that you think are just calling your name from that 2 left foot display that we have. Este Martini Cologne coming soon. Este Delmer, everybody. Toyota Muscatine. By the way, I would love to go to the Toyota Muscatine Facebook page after this if we could. They had a good post yesterday we'll share. But for now, the Kart Cam is a 2019 Toyota Muscatine. It's only got 647 miles on it. It is a hybrid. It's battery powered. And today it's Cody powered. Go see Jimmy Greenhaw, TJ Deere, and the crew at Toyota of Muscatine. They'll take care of you, including service and repairs. So let's see. Oh, boy, Cody, that is creepy. It's kind of like the all-seeing eye. That would be an interesting sock to wear. That's the one pair of socks that spoke to you were the ones with the eye on it? Really? Okay. Cody's in the Illuminati. That's what I'm taking away from that. He's in the Illuminati. He's got Illuminati socks. A little bit of cart cam and aisle cam inception going on. 2 left. Sock company. Grab a pair of socks that mismatch and wear them on World Down Syndrome Day. Just look at the size of that aisle. That's such a good perspective, isn't it? With the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam, you get a sense for everything that's in there, including Easter, right? Easter is later this year. Easter's coming up on Sunday, April 21st. You got plenty of time to get ready. Help out the Easter Bunny, whether you need like the baskets that are already loaded and set to go, or if you need, thank you, Sir Cody. These are so weird. These are so weird. These are the ones he picked. You're going to rock these, Cody? This is you right here, man? Okay. These would not fit me. These are a small. And I like how it says small feet, right? Can we zoom in on the small feet? I do not have small feet, ladies and gentlemen. I got what the podiatrist would call the caveman feet. I got the Fred Flintstone foot. I would need, what am I? I'm a size 13 in the shoe, and I got the hashtag wide foot. So, you know what? I don't like the eye. It's kind of creepy, but it's for Cody, so that's fine. But there are some over there that have like pizza on it, and it's just a great fun thing to do is is participate in days like that. Hello, guys. How are we doing? Mismatch those socks. $4.99, by the way. That's a good deal. All right, let's take care of some business, and then we'll get out of here for the morning, if we could. But first, yes, Toyota Muscatine. All right, Ryan or Betsy. I guess it's Betsy today who's controlling this. Okay, sorry, Betsy. I'll give you the credit. Can you scroll down? They had a post yesterday where they announced a new member of the team right there. Let's zoom in. It's a huge Toyota Muscatine welcome to their new service manager. That is Adam Mead. I'm assuming that Adam will be on our show soon. Adam, ready to take care of you at Toyota Muscatine. They've also got a few more jobs available, and looks like he's leaning up against maybe a 4Runner. Boy, oh boy. Get a Toyota, it will literally run forever. I mean, what else do you need me to tell you? They know how to build them, that's for sure. And we're excited to have Adam in Muscatine. Welcome to town. I don't know if Adam is originally from Muscatine or what his story is, but happy to have him in the Toyota Muscatine family. All right, Betsy, let's go in order of events, I guess. I didn't really update the list here. So we've got the weekly Fuel Saver flyer. We talked about this yesterday on the show. You walk into Hy-Vee, you grab the flyer, it's red. And if you bought everything that's on this flyer, you would save $1.02 off per gallon. Don't know if you've gotten gas recently. Unfortunately, the price of gas kind of has crept up. Doesn't have to when you shop at Hy-Vee. So if you bought everything on this flyer, you would save $1.02 from the meat department to the deli to wine and spirits to Hy-Vee Chinese to what else do you need? Broken bottles of pepper. We've got it all. Salad mixes. Sunny D, it's all there at your Muscatine Hy-Vee. Fuel Saver, everybody. Sushi, Snickers, Seabest tilapia, sandwiches, calzones, and more. It was a great sound effect, though. I don't know if anybody else caught it. It was marvelous. We'll put it on my tab, everybody. So $1.02 off per gallon. That's what you'll save if you bought everything on the flyer this week. And also, speaking of Fuel Saver, so again, if you just walked into the store and you grabbed the Fuel Saver flyer that's red, and then you grabbed the bakery Fuel Saver flyer, and you put those together, as I did yesterday on the show, because I'm not good at math normally, you would save $1.02. Oh man, there's a part of the table this is going to look ugly. So if you bought everything on both of those flyers, you would save $1.62 off per gallon. That's my math right there. You can see where there is a divot in the table. That's pretty good, right? So $1.62 off per gallon of gas, I would take that, right? You take the normal price of gas, whatever it is right now for a tank of unleaded, I don't know, $2.50, and all of a sudden you're not paying full price. Spring Fuel Saver Frenzy, Hy-Vee Bakery, Scotcheroos, they're so good, they'll change your life. You're having a bad day, you know what you need to have a good day? Scotcheroos. There's been, never in the history of mankind has there been someone eating a Scotcheroo with a frown on their face. Oh, God, this is just terrible. Oh, this is the worst. That just doesn't happen. You have a Betsy doesn't like Scotcheroos. You're fired. You're fired, Betsy. You're rehired. Bakery Fresh mini dessert loaves. You know, when you're just trying to not have an entire dessert loaf, you've got a mini one. 10-cent fuel saver there. Jumbo muffins, 15-cent fuel saver. Those muffins are massive. Bakery Fresh hot dog and hamburger buns. If you've been firing up the grill, toot toot. You can put a burger or a brat or a hot dog on a Bakery Fresh bun. Those things are so good. It's just so much better, so much fresher. And then, of course, the baking stone breads. Buy it all, 60 cents. Grab it, and you won't regret it. My cousin Katie is watching live in Chicago. Hello. We're doing a talk show in a grocery store. Aren't you proud of your cousin? Look at me, Ma. I'm on the TV in the Hy-Vee in Iowa. I remember when one of my aunts, my Aunt Mary, who I love, she when I was doing radio in the Quad Cities, she jokingly said once, "Is your radio station in a barn?" And I said, "No, it's in an old funeral home." But it's that you know when you're trying to like explain what you do to people, you're like, "No, it's not in a barn. It's in a funeral home," which is also weird. Rock and Roll Mansion. It's a funeral home. So I was on the radio in a funeral home and then in a house. This was Muscatine Radio is kind of in a house. So moving on up in the world, right? All right, frozen sack sale. This is a good deal coming up this Saturday and Sunday as you get back from spring break. And if you need to restock the freezer, here's the best part I was told today. I don't know why I'm sweating so much. Maybe I need to get better deodorant. I don't know what's going on. It's all the lights, I think. Maybe I'm nervous. Maybe it's too much espresso. You don't even need to fill a paper bag this Saturday and Sunday. You can just fill your cart. You can just walk down the ice cream aisle like Ryan does and just scoop all the Whiteys in there. All the Whiteys and the Jack Pizzas. Ryan's, he's in his 20s. He's got high metabolism. He just gets all the frozen stuff. And then it's 15% off. So whether you bought one thing of Whitey's ice cream or what's the pizza that Mama Basso? Shout out to Mama Basso. You buy one pizza, 10 pizzas, however many you buy, it's 15% off everything in the frozen department. If it's frozen, it's on sale. Saturday and Sunday at your Muscatine Hy-Vee, it's a frozen sack sale because March is National Frozen Food Month. How is it possible that I need to get my hair cut already? I'm looking at myself in the monitor and I'm realizing my hair grows really quickly and I need to get another haircut. All right, Betsy, let's do Thursday night steak dinner because tonight is Thursday, and thank you again to Hannah for teaching me the good hand gestures for speech and debate. I can do this. Tonight is Thursday, and Chad, we're going to get everybody a nice steak dinner for tonight's dinner, 4 o'clock. We need you to have steak. Have your steak and eat it too. Ready to go, 4 till 7, dine-in, carry out, choice sirloin steak, 8 ounce, $8, 12 ounce, $12, garlic mashed taters, your choice of vegetable. Betsy, favorite vegetable, ready, go. Let's say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3, asparagus. Nice. All right, we agree on something. Why don't you ask that to people on Facebook? What's your favorite vegetable rather than cookies or brownies? I would also like to read from the tome of Connor Hilton, who was commenting on the aforementioned question. He said, tough choice, probably cookies unless it's a warm center brownie with ice cream. That is very specific. But he's not wrong. If you haven't had a warm brownie with ice cream on top of it, you haven't lived. You should do that right now. Someone's pager going off over there? What's happening? Last thing I'll mention is breakfast with Gary Dolphin, voice of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Seriously, I think it's a pager. Is that what's happening right? My dad had a pager. Those are cool. Breakfast with Gary Dolphin is Saturday, April 13th here at Hy-Vee and the Market Grill Express, 8 till 10 a.m. You can meet and greet with Gary Dolphin, who will be back calling Iowa Hawkeye football on Saturday, April 13th. That's not when Hawkeye football starts. I know that. Gary will be back calling football games this season. And we can't wait. Gary Dolphin has been doing Iowa Hawkeye basketball and football for a number of years. He is just great. I've known Gary for about 6 years now, and we look forward to having him here in Muscatine. Thanks again to the Merrill Hotel and Conference Center for giving us a room for Gary for Friday night, and look forward to having Dolph right here in Hy-Vee. RSVP, by the way, you should do it. You should make your reservation. 563-264-2420. Ask for the Market Grill Express. Breakfast with Dolph, April 13th, 8 till 10. And speaking of RSVPs, last thing I'll mention, Monday, 6 o'clock, Grey's Anatomy trivia. A lot of reservations coming in hot. If you love Grey's Anatomy and you want to play trivia, Betsy, there's just a Facebook post. Don't worry about it. We've got a lot of reservations coming in. This is going to be good. Grey's Anatomy trivia Monday, this coming Monday, the 25th. I'm like in between a burp or something. I don't know what's happening. You ever have that moment when you're like, oh, God, I think I'm going to burp, but I'm on TV and I'm not trying to burp? I'll just talk through it. There we go. It's gone. Glad we had that talk. It was a good moment. Thanks for bailing me out. Monday, the 25th, 6 till 8, Grey's Anatomy trivia. I'll be playing the role of McDreamy and McSteamy together. It'll be a McSteamy dream, everybody. So that's a Grey's Anatomy reference for the folks at home that watch that show, and they've done it for a long time. Thank you again first of all, thank you to Mrs. Hilton for making the connection and helping us talk to Hannah Pouts and Dalton Bella, how can I not remember how to say the kid's name? Bella Capitas. Thank you, Chad. Bella Capitas. Dalton Bella Capitas, Jeremiah Daniels, Hannah Pouts, along with 8 other teammates, Muscatine, speech and debate, going to nationals. Congratulations. Trivia night for them this Saturday. We'll talk about this tomorrow on the show to keep reminding you to support Muscatine High School speech and debate. And let's make sure that they can get to nationals in June in Dallas and represent Muscatine. That'll be fun. Tomorrow on the show, we're talking to some of the stars of a show that's happening at Louisa Muscatine Schools. It's Death of a Hot Sauce Salesman. I can't wait. I love Death of a Salesman. I got to see it in college with the great Mike Kennedy, who was with St. Ambrose University for a number of years. Mike Kennedy went to college with Clint Eastwood, everybody. He taught me, I took one acting class in college, and Mike Kennedy taught me the class. And in that class, I got to do a scene from Fight Club. And during that scene, one of the characters smoked a cigarette. And I told Mike, I said, Mike, in this scene, my character smokes a cigarette. And he goes, well, I guess you're going to have to smoke a cigarette then. And I said, in class? And he was like, are you going to commit to it? And I was like, sure. So at St. Ambrose, for one of my classes, we were out, not inside the Galvin Fine Arts building. They had these temporary classrooms and trailers, for lack of a better word. I did a scene from Fight Club and smoked a cigarette because Mike was committed to it. He was like, you're going to commit to the role. So shout out to Mike Kennedy and Death of a Hot Sauce Salesman with L&M. We'll talk to them tomorrow here on Hy-Vee Today. Come and see us. Spring break is here. It seems like good weather is upon us and will be. We're getting ready to open the garden center, and I, for one, need to pick up some dirt and some mulch to spruce up the home, and that'll be opening very soon. I would say this, if you find yourself needing mulch and soil or whatever, dirt, I mean, we'll sell it to you. Just let us know and we'll take care of you, because that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to back up the dad van and say, put in some dirt, Ryan. Put in some mulch. Got to get to the green thumbing out there. I've got to bring my green thumb back. Okay? Thank you for watching Hy-Vee Today. We'll see you tomorrow, Friday, live at 8:30. Replays of this show, 7:30 and 10:30 p.m. on Muscatine Power and Water, digital cable, Channel 5. Did they still have to say digital cable? I mean, we're in 2019. It's cable, and it only looks better unless you're watching it on an older TV. And then it still is fine. We're still here. But get yourself a flat screen. I have an old flat screen. My LG TV, it's 9 years old. And when I got it, it was $1,800. And now you can get a flat screen that's like 25 pounds lighter and bigger for like $300. So imagine this face in 4K, everybody, or 3D. Nobody wants that. No 3D on this show. All right? We'll get 3D if we can get Chef Brian Scott back in the Hy-Vee Today kitchen. We should try and get him over here once or twice just to do stuff. Just to make us steak and eggs. That's a good idea. All right, thank you, CVI Bank and Trust. Thank you, Toyota Muscatine and Team Staffing. HyVeeToday@gmail.com. If you need anything from me, reach out with an email. Guest suggestions are always welcome, and we'll make it happen. That's what we do here. That's what Mrs. Hilton did with getting the speech and debate kids on the show, and same thing tomorrow with our guests from L&M. Also a suggestion, and we're making it happen. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And if you're watching this in the evening, have a good rest of your night, and stay tuned for some available homes for sale on the Remax channel. Coming soon, my house for sale. And remember, when you buy my house, you get 4 Adventureland tickets, a Crowler from Contrary Brewing, and a 6-pack of Busch Light Tall Boys. Ain't nobody else throwing in stuff when you buy their house, so somebody needs to buy mine, because I have too many people in my house now. All right, thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone.
Be very, very quiet while hunting wabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton this Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.